Hello, my sweet little one. Are you ready for a magical story? Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a very special cat who wore boots. Can you imagine that? This clever kitty helped his friend in the most amazing way. So snuggle up close and let's discover how being smart and loyal can change everything. Once upon a time, sweetie, there was a young man named Jack who was very, very poor. When his father died, all Jack got was one thing, a cat. Now, this wasn't just any ordinary cat. Oh, no. This orange tabby had the most beautiful green eyes and could talk. Can you imagine? The cat said, "Don't worry, Jack. Just get me some boots and I'll help you." Jack was so curious. He bought the cat a pair of shiny black boots and a fancy red hat with a feather. The moment the cat put them on, whoosh! He stood up on two legs just like you and me. "Now," said the cat with a big grin, "call me Puss in Boots. I have a wonderful plan to make you rich." And off he marched with his boots clicking on the ground. Now, honey, here's where Puss got very clever. He took a big bag to the meadow and caught some fat rabbits. But instead of keeping them, he marched right up to the king's castle. The guards were so surprised to see a cat in boots. Puss bowed low and said, "Your Majesty, my master, the great Lord Jack, sends you these gifts." The king was delighted. The next day, Puss had an even better idea. He told Jack, "Quick, go swim in the river." Just as Jack jumped in, clip clop, here came the king's golden carriage with the beautiful princess inside. Puss ran to them shouting, "Help! Help! Robbers stole my master's clothes while he was swimming." Oh my goodness, what do you think happened next? The kind king felt so sorry for poor Lord Jack. He immediately gave Jack beautiful royal clothes, a purple velvet coat, golden buttons, and shiny shoes. When Jack stepped out of the carriage dressed like a prince, the princess thought he was the most handsome young man she'd ever seen. Her cheeks turned pink, and she smiled the sweetest smile. Puss winked at Jack. His plan was working perfectly. But wait, sweetie, Puss wasn't done yet. He ran ahead to a huge, scary castle where a mean ogre lived. This ogre was enormous, as tall as 3 houses. But don't worry, honey, Puss was very brave. He marched right up to the ogre and said, "I heard you can change into any animal. Can you really become a tiny mouse?" The ogre laughed. "Of course I can." Poof! Poof! The huge ogre turned into a teeny tiny gray mouse. Quick as lightning, Puss pounced. "Gotcha!" he said, and that was the end of the mean ogre. Now the beautiful castle belonged to Jack. When the king's carriage arrived, Puss bowed and said, "Welcome to Lord Jack's castle." The king was so impressed. Any man with such a grand castle must be very special indeed. And you know what happened next, my dear? The king was so happy with Jack that he said, "You shall marry my daughter." The princess clapped her hands with joy. Soon there was the most beautiful wedding with flowers everywhere, music playing, and a cake as tall as you. Jack and the princess danced and laughed, and Puss, he sat at the royal table, still wearing his magnificent boots, purring with happiness. From that day on, Jack and the princess lived happily in their beautiful castle. Jack became a wise and kind lord who helped everyone in the kingdom. And Puss? Well, he never had to catch mice for dinner again. He spent his days wearing his fancy boots, taking naps in silk cushions, and telling everyone about his great adventure. He had used his cleverness to help his friend, and now they were both happy forever and ever. And that, my sweet child, is the end of our story. What a wonderful adventure we've had together. Remember, being smart and kind to others can help you achieve wonderful things. This story teaches us something very important about cleverness and loyalty can change your life. Did you enjoy our story time? I hope it filled your heart with joy and wonder. Sweet dreams, little one, and remember, you are loved more than all the stars in the sky.